One warning in the road can make all the difference for someone else's journey. You see, my partner and I, we went on the ATV one day and we went in Tulum. And the roads here, they have quite a bit of need for repair, if I can say it like that. There's a lot of mess going on in the roads here. But anyhow, my partner and I, we spotted a huge pit hole in the middle of the road. And God really prompted us to jump off the ATV and bring a stick in front of this pit hole to basically just warn other people coming after us that there was this pit hole in the middle of the road, because we didn't want anyone else to end up in this pit hole, because we were close to actually ending up in the pit hole ourselves. So why am I sharing this story with you? Well, I kept on reflecting on it. And if you think about it in this way, you can do the very same thing by taking a look at your own story and being the one that warns others coming after you, right? So whatever it is that you are growing through, you have the opportunity to look at your story and be like, okay, these are the things that I have experienced. I have an opportunity to warn other people coming after me about the things that they can avoid, about the things that they can see coming down the path. And so that is basically what we did that day when we put that stick in front of that pit hole so that no one else would end up in it. And I see that as a metaphor for everything else that I do in my life as well now. In the Bible, actually, it says in Proverbs 25:12 that a wise warning to someone who will listen is as valuable as gold earrings or fine gold jewelry. So when you are warning someone, when you are coaching someone, when you are sharing your journey, sharing your story, sharing what you are growing through, you don't know who you're going to help by sharing that with the world. You are actually sharing valuable information, which you might take for granted because you have already grown through it, but you don't know who else will take value out of that, right? And when I think about it, I've done this several times in my life this far, and I want to share another story with you as well, which was when I basically had a scooter myself and I drove down a path and I saw this girl next to me on the back of another scooter, and she had this scarf the way that I have a scarf now. And I saw that it ended up almost coming into the wheel of the scooter, right? And I remember just passing by and I felt this prompting inside of me to just turn around and say, basically, pay attention to the scarf, make sure that the scarf does not come into the wheel of the scooter. See, so you get these promptings from the Holy Spirit that basically says, just say it, just turn around and give attention to something for them so that they don't, end up having this accident or something like that, right? Or you might be in a store sometimes and you hear this nearly audible voice being like, just open the door for that person, or say that compliment to that person or something. That is really just God coming through you and you basically wanting to help or to just spread light around you, right? So when you live in a faithful way and you honor God, you act promptly on the promptings, on the callings, on the intuitions that are coming through for you. And I remember doing that for that girl on that scooter. And guess what? I just gave, and I had no clue if I'd ever be able to receive anything in return for that. Obviously, I didn't necessarily get that then, but I knew that at least she was safe. She was safer than if I did not express that. And the other day, me and my partner were on the scooter and or on the ATV, and I had this scarf, and my scarf was close to getting into the wheel. And another guy on another scooter turned around towards us and paid attention to it and basically showed us that, oh, the scarf was close to getting into the wheel. And I just got chills that moment because, again, I felt as if though this was sort of the Holy Spirit or God kind of coming through and giving back from that time that I was the one that helped someone else. And this is how it works. You just give. You just act upon the promptings that are on your heart, that basically God put on your heart, and you don't question it. Or a faithful journey is you being able to kind of shorten the gap in between the prompting coming and you acting on it, right? So instead of you thinking about it, over analyzing it, rationalizing it, having to know all the pros and the cons before you do something, when you live faithfully, you act upon the intuition and the calling that's coming through. So just remember that. One warning in the road that you place there can make all the difference for someone else's journey and for yourself. So think about that for yourself right now. What warning is it that you can put out there that can possibly make a difference for someone else? What is it that you can share that you have grown through that can possibly shape someone else's journey? You never know what will come out of it. It might not just help that person, but even the person that person is connected to. So one smile can make a huge difference. Oh, another thing was kind of impressed upon my mind right now. I remember I saw this little video of this guy that was just basically walking in this way and a little girl walking in the other way. And they were kind of crossing each other. And this little girl, she started like, you know, when you're like dancing like this or you're like going like this? This girl was doing that, and this was caught on camera where she did that, and then as she passed him, he started to do the same. He started to also go like this, and he walked normally before, and this was an adult man. Okay, so it just goes to show that when you are overjoyed, when you really just act upon the promptings and the callings and the intuitions and the joy that you have inside of you, when you act from love, it can influence directly or indirectly other people around you. And this is what I mean by God is love. It's that simple, truly. So, yes, one little thing that you can do can make all the difference for someone else's journey. So that's it for today. Just felt called to share these stories with you, and I hope that they land in your heart and that it can shift the way that you show up in one simple way today. Sending so much love.